Hi, everybody. I am Landry Etheridge with Etheridge Counseling Group, and we have Dr. Etta Gant here with us today. We're going to be talking a little bit about a particular population that I know is close to Etta's heart. Postpartum, women going through postpartum depression. So I want to introduce Etta. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, so I know that this is an area or this is a group of people you've been working with for a little while. I'm interested to hear sort of what your experience has been with this population and yeah, what you have found in working with women with postpartum depression.
Yeah, so like you said, this population is very close to my heart, just because it can be a really lonely and scary time for people. And so, especially for women who are alone a lot in the house and they have this like depression that feels like it's just kind of come out of nowhere and has hijacked what felt like was supposed to be like a really wonderful time. Um, and it hasn't felt that way. And so there's a ton of guilt and pressure about what it should look like to be a new mom, and then disappointment when it feels like it's not that way. Um, and I come from a family of predominantly women, just we have not had many men
Just a lot
born,
of women in your family.
born into men on either side of my family. And so, and I'm the youngest of three, and I have two older sisters. And so, being with them through their births, pregnancy, postpartum has been really important to me. And it's also really important when I've worked with other clients because there's just so much pressure and so much fear and so much anxiety and so much guilt that comes with that time, even though it can be so wonderful and so exciting. And having this baby or multiple babies are the thing that someone's wanted for so long, but it's not as easy as we want it to be.
Yeah, and I think and I wonder if you feel the same way that maybe there's sort of some pressure, internal pressure or family pressure or societal pressure to, yeah, to like to be excited. And of course, a lot of women are very excited, but there's sort of this like other side to it that doesn't always get acknowledged. I mean, I'm just thinking, going from no children to having your first child. I mean, what a shift becoming a mother and so many things to process, whether it's like identity,
Mm-hmm.
your schedule's being hijacked. Maybe you're having to be alone at home a lot, perhaps. Um, if you sort of built an identity around maybe career or, this identity as like a good friend or whatever it is, so many things are having to shift. But I feel like some women don't really feel they have permission to maybe grieve
Mm-hmm.
the loss of their prior life or their like maidenhood or however you want to describe that. Would you agree with that? Or-
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's some grief there. There's especially women who have been working nonstop before having a baby. That is a massive transition to go from working full time to just full stop working, and being inside at home all the time. That shifts your identity, your routine, everything. So that can be incredibly difficult. And no matter what, it feels like there's guilt associated to it. If you don't get back to work soon enough, you can be feeling guilty about that. Or if you're excited to get back to work and are excited um, to get back into your career, there's guilt about that. Either you're
Mhm.
you're not being this or you're not being that, and that is exhausting to be trying to meet all of these expectations that go against each other.
Yes. You were saying you have two older sisters. I have two sisters who recently became first-time mothers. And we've talked a lot about the unsolicited advice that new moms get. And I feel like, and I have witnessed this firsthand, how many people have very strong opinions, whether it's on one side of something or the other. And so there's a lot coming at a new mom or maybe a
Mhm.
mom of multiple children. There's a lot to a lot to process that's coming at you, not only like the in all the internal stuff. And I'm thinking too, even if, if it's a married couple having a child, like couple dynamic is shifting so much too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a really unique period of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, what are some of the, do you have any, like, I don't know, tips or maybe certain topics that you tend to talk with new moms about in how to sort of like navigate that season of life, those like months after having a
Mm-hmm.
baby?
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like two big things is one, just normalizing the experience, especially it can be feel really, really scary too if you're having this wave of anxiety and depression. Even if you've dealt with that before, it can feel really different. And now the anxiety and depression looks different too. And now some of the thoughts coming into a new mom's head might be, it's going to be like this forever. I am going to, this might mean I'm going to be a terrible mom. This might mean like I can't do this. This might mean that my child's going to suffer because I'm struggling right now. Um, and that fear can be just really debilitating. And so normalizing that, unfortunately, or just by happenstance, having postpartum depression or just any sort of difficulty post birth is very normal. And it does not mean that you don't love your child. And it does not mean that you're going to feel like this forever or that you're destined to be a bad mom or somehow cause harm to your child. And so getting rid of helping to diffuse some of that fear that it's always going to be like this. We know that depression comes in waves in general, especially postpartum. That's a massive wave and it might continue and cycle some, but it does, the intensity of it can pass.
Mhm.
Um, and then taking things day by day when we start to or clients start to spiral into, what about when they're in kindergarten, what about at this point in their life, what about at this point in their life, how am I going to handle this, how am I going to handle this, because you can't fully know what your circumstances are going to
Mhm.
be. And it is great to look ahead and to make a plan, but during this time taking it day by day is so important because um, babies are demanding of the attention. And so it's enough to just give them the attention for today and not think about their 15-year plan at this phase.
Yeah, yes, day by day, hour by hour sometimes. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad we got to chat about this. And I know you have a couple of spots open currently. Well, this post is being posted in 2024. So right now we do have some spots open. If there's any women out there who are experiencing postpartum depression, or even thinking about having a kid in general and kind of having some fear and anxiety come up even before a child is upon the scene, and you want to explore that in therapy, I know Etta would be excited to work with you and journey with you through that. So thank you so much, Etta, for chatting, and hopefully we'll talk more soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.